Welcome.
All right, that was it.
That's exciting.
From the mountain to your street, giving you a taste of something sweet. So don't go away, sit down, take a seat. It's Midweek motivation, not drop this beat, man. That's my dog. Let's go.
Welcome to Midweek Motivation, real conversations with real people about a very real God. Ben is
Trevor.
shocked right now because he doesn't realize that we just started.
Hi.
I'm your host, Aaron. That's Trevor. You know him. The also host. And joining us today for the very first time, our good friend, Ben Parlier.
Parlier.
Did I say it right?
Hey, everybody. Nope, you said it wrong.
Dang it. How did I? No, I said it right.
Say it again.
You're messing up. Parlier.
Oh, wait, yeah, you did.
I said
you.
Parlier.
Look at that.
He said Parlier. It messed me up.
He's completely wrong. It's not that
it's French.
Is it actually
it
French?
technically is French.
Let's
But it's
go.
not. It's not pronounced
It was
in the
French,
French way.
when my ancestors lived in France. Then they moved over here in the 1700s. And then I think it just slowly became Americanized.
That was a good time to move to America.
Yeah,
Man.
Do you
it
know?
was.
I mean, that was a good time to leave France and move to America.
Yep.
Actually, it's a really good time.
It was a great time.
Just in time
That
for
was perfect
revolution.
time. But a couple things coming up. One, it's not coming up, I guess. We're nearing the end of our 21 days, right? We're day
I don't know.
17, 18?
Sure.
Somewhere in there.
We finished day 18,
We'll
right?
be done
'Cause
on
tomorrow will be
Saturday.
19.
Are we
we're
done on Saturday?
We're done on
Saturday
Saturday.
morning? Yep.
Yes, ahead of the snowpocalypse.
Yeah, well,
We'll beat it. It's not supposed to start snowing really until like close to lunch, I think.
I'm also pretty sure, right? I won't say pretty sure. I am incredibly skeptical that we'll actually get the snow that we're
Aaron's
being
always skeptical.
told.
Bro.
I'm super
Always
skeptical
skeptical.
I
because
saw an
I've lived
updated-
here long enough, right?
Yeah.
And I've been told like, oh, it's going to be terrible. It's going to snow. And then absolutely nothing happens.
for those who are not local, there's a snowstorm in the great Shenandoah Valley. Everybody's local?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, see, boom.
No.
Come
Yeah.
on, online ministry. Let's go. Anyways,
Sure.
21
I don't
to
know.
24 inches of snow, which is abnormal for us.
That's what they say,
Yes.
right? But no.
Darren doesn't believe in authoritative voices in the world.
I have been lied to too many times.
Anyway, the prayer has been great.
21 days of prayer.
The prayer service has been great. We've had some good devotions. Brother Billy Cole just brought the devotion this morning.
Yeah.
It was good, very heartfelt. Shout out to the men's ministry doing big things in the church. It's always a good thing when you see men
Leading.
helping each other
Yeah.
develop in their faith and just grow in spiritual maturity. So
Mm-hmm.
doing big things with Stephen there. We're really appreciative of that. I don't know who's bringing the devotion tomorrow, but I'm sure
Somebody good.
Somebody great.
Yeah,
Are you doing it?
Is it you?
That-
I haven't been asked to do it, so no, I'm not.
Hey, me
doing it.
neither. I think they were just comfortable. Like, you can stay in the back and just make sure people can hear.
Yeah, I'm
Which is
just
fine
here
with
to
me,
play
'cause-
sweet music.
There's no telling what I'll say at 6 a.m.
Yeah, we can tell.
It's probably better. It's not even 6 a.m. So in our group, I have to tell Courtney, like, when I just start going down a rabbit hole, can you just
kick
like,
me.
Just hit me, like.
Just throw something at me.
So I process things out loud really well. So it's like if we're doing like a Bible study or something, like I like to process it out loud and think it through. But sometimes I'm saying what I think is a really profound point to our group. But the more I walk through it, it's like that was not that impressive, deep at all. It's just, and nobody else is following you, and you keep on talking. Like I'm arguing with myself as the words are coming out. It's not great. So that's a good reason to have a good wife.
It's true.
You should always find a good wife.
Or spouse, if you're not a male.
Good job.
Yeah. Yes.
Just don't want to assume everybody watching is a guy.
Thank
You know what I'm
you. Hey,
saying?
Well,
Spouses are great.
I mean, it's Courtney and my mom pretty much, but
whoa. Shout out to Courtney and Darren's mom,
yeah,
Hey,
We
Darren's
appreciate you.
mom.
my mom watches. Every
Shout
once
out
in a
to
while.
all
Mom.
the way up in Michigan.
Yeah, no, she lives here.
Oh, here,
Yeah,
all the
both
way
my
up in
parents
here.
live here. It's awesome.
All the way up in here.
Yeah, I have a brother in Colorado and a brother
thought
in
you said
Michigan,
Michigan.
and my parents moved here.
Nice.
Yeah.
They love you more.
Exactly. And but we do have our good friend Ben Parlier. Oh,
Parlier.
this is Parlier.
Not
Parlier's
again.
Good.
Stay on track. Keep it on the track.
Parlier.
Keep rolling.
Ben, You've never have you ever watched Midweek?
No.
Oh my
You know how
gosh.
many people we've brought on the show that have been like, "Do you watch the show?" No, never once.
Lindsay
I mean, I've gotten-
was like, "Oh,
Thank you for
guys
that.
have a show."
I have seen the notifications on my phone and been like, oh, look at that. And then I never click it. So.
Speaking of which,
I'm
turn your
aware that it
notifications
exists.
on, and you'll get notifications through a Parkway app for all sorts of things, potentially weather alerts, like if Snowpocalypse, is making any adjustments to our worship planning on Sunday. You'll know about that through.
For Snowpalooza.
Ooh, well, that makes it sound like more fun. Than,
It is fun.
It will be fun
Snow's
for my
fun.
2-year-old.
Yes, that'll be
She
super.
loves the snow.
I mean, who doesn't love the snow?
If it actually snows 2 feet, that's going to be pretty awesome. I'm just going to throw
turn on
it.
your notifications.
Yeah, throw it on
Yes.
your notifications.
Turn on your notifications. Make sure you're signed up for and not blocking our phone number and your text and your email.
Don't unsubscribe from my email
Yeah, don't do that.
or
That's just
text
rude.
messages. I work hard at
It
sending
hurts
those
Trevor's
out to you.
feelings.
It does.
If
I
you-
see the number go down. and
I see him
down.
crying in Ben's office quite frequently. It's I didn't
my
think it was because
office?
of that. Yeah. I assumed you knew.
Oh.
you didn't notice.
You haven't seen the tear stains on the floor.
No.
It just sneaks in there late at night, and
I just get emotional.
I'll walk by and just let it go. But that is what it is. But yeah, make sure you have the Parkway app. If you don't have the Parkway app, you're missing out on a lot of stuff.
Doing.
One, you're missing out on all the information, all the details that happen, of all the things happening around Parkway. You miss out on like message notes. You can check in on Sundays and let us know that you were here. There's this really cool section of our prayer wall where you can actually leave a prayer request and then pray for people who are leaving prayer requests. Super cool. Did you know about that, Ben?
I did. I knew about that. I
Look
did.
at you. And you've never seen the show, but you knew about it.
No. I see it on there. I just don't click it.
And you can order from the cafe from the app.
Unless you're in our online campus, and then
Yeah.
Well,
you can do it in your
it's
heart.
You can order. It's just not going to.
as an act of generosity,
We
you
just
can buy
won't
a
deliver
coffee
it to you.
and then just let somebody randomly pick it up.
You know that Amber, go ahead and Amber's not watching this.
And she's sick.
Yeah. Shout out to Amber, our new
Shout out to
cafe
Amber being
director.
sick.
Amber's going to be on the show eventually when we can get her.
Man, if you guys get Amber on this show, the train is never going on the track, guys. It's never happening.
What? Come on.
Yeah.
Worse than us?
I mean,
If you think I'm knocking you off the track, just wait till Amber shows up. It's gonna be
it's
an
just called Down
it's gonna
to
be an
Earth.
epic
shout out
episode.
to our cafe director,
shout out to her.
Amber Mio. She is always
That's not her
always,
last name.
always willing to have a conversation.
She's great.
You want to talk
It's
about
Maya
pronouncing last
Wachowski.
name?
It's not that hard.
Yo,
It is
he
not
got
that
it.
hard. It's hard to spell. It's
Not
really
if
hard
you're
to
Polish.
Are you Polish?
No,
Okay.
spell. I am on my mother's side.
As we know, I am French, so
I am
Completely
German.
French.
through and through.
Oh gosh, Ben, let's talk about you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Enough about us. Let's talk.
I'm going to do
about
this.
you.
I'm just going to do this hard transition.
Go ahead.
We're just talk about you.
All right.
I'll tell you how this works.
Okay.
Stare at him while we're talking.
Yes. Stare deeply into your soul. So our goal this year is to have everybody on the entire staff on the show at some point.
Got it.
Talk about their ministry, talk about who they are, how they ended up at Parkway, what their role is.
Except for Dustin.
Except for Dustin, it's
Who's
rough
Dustin?
when we have Dustin. Yeah, he's this dude that sometimes you hear from on Sunday.
See the guy with the glasses that have the
Calls
white
himself
trim?
lead
That must be
pastor.
it. Yeah.
Just kidding. I do know who my boss is, everybody, and my pastor.
You have a boss? What?
Yep.
We have a boss?
Both.
We do
Yeah.
work for him.
We have a
He's
couple.
great to work for. He's a
We
great
have
guy.
a couple of bosses. He is pretty great.
He's great.
Shout out to Dustin.
Shout out to
He is
Dustin.
pretty great to work with.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I tell people all the time, one, you should take a quip, right? Which is happening right now. If you wanted to join now, it's too late. They're not going to let you in.
Yeah.
Casting and coordinator are not going to let you in this time. But it is coming back around. You'll have your opportunity. So parkroanoke.com.
She will be coming around the mountain. When she comes. She's coming back. Don't worry.
Around the mountain, through the valley, and then back up to the mountain. But that's coming back around. But I will tell you what I think people get surprised by more, and what I think is very important for people in Equip is you get to see Dustin in a little bit different capacity. I've told people all the time, people don't realize how smart Dustin actually is and how intelligent and educated he is. Because a lot of what people see most of what people see is Dustin on Sunday morning, right? Not that he's not educated on Sunday morning, right? but you don't get to see the level of his study and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
Until you sit down and have a conversation with him, or you go through Equip, and the level of things that he's teaching in Equip are like fantastic, right? So it's a cool thing. Same with all of our staff. Like, you get to hear from our staff a lot in little snippets, but it's very rare that you get to really hear from all of them, right? That's probably one of the best things about Equip. So Carly taught the first week last week. Dustin will be teaching this week, tonight, I guess. So think about joining Equip. It's great. It's a great way to learn about Parkway. And you'll hear a little bit about this guy at some point. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm teaching week 4.
You're teaching week 4?
What?
What's week 4?
Shape.
Shape. Yes. Wow. Are you going to do the teeter-totter thing that Pastor Mike always does?
Probably
The
not.
seesaw?
No.
Dude, it's one of the best things we do in Equip. It's fantastic. But it's a kind of thing that it's a very Pastor Mike thing.
Yeah, see, I'm not good with a gimmick.
Pastor Mike is the king of the gimmick.
Yeah, I'm not good with it. I can't do it.
He was in a granny shawl the other day at
Yes.
Yeah, he
21
was in a
Days,
granny shaw at.
and he owned it.
It was a symbol of a cloak in the story he was going to tell. So
It was
he
yesterday.
Good. He's such a children. Was that yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Wow,
Right?
time flies.
Or was it? Yeah.
Or drags, I guess.
It seems like
It was yesterday.
Drags is probably good. But Ben, you are officially the assistant campus pastor for our Vinton campus.
Yep. Shout out to Vinton campus.
You are the first assistant campus pastor in the history of Parkway Church.
Indeed, I am.
Making
that.
history.
Yep.
One campus at a time.
Right?
Campus at a time, baby.
And it's been a wild ride. So
Yep.
before we get there, and we probably will just
We'll keep it 30,000 foot.
yeah,
We don't need the
that's
details.
probably the best thing because we don't
Sure.
have time to get into all the details. I will say I'll cover this. It's definitely a God story,
Yeah, for sure.
right? For God working it all out, and especially working it out so smoothly and so well, right? Because things like what we've been through the past several months don't always go smoothly,
Nope.
right? Especially coming out on the other side. So well. So it's one of those things that God definitely orchestrated. But let's back up. Let's go back to young Ben, right?
How young are we talking?
I'm 6 or 7.
Good heavens.
All right, everybody, have a great.
I quit.
The best part is my kids cringe so badly when I
See,
do
that's
that.
a dad joke.
And I'm trying to kill it.
That's a dad joke.
But see, I'm basically 40, and that's just where I'm at.
So
Okay.
old.
And I'm like king of the dad jokes now, right? I'm not quite on Marshall's level when that he's a grandpa, but Marshall has some serious dad jokes, and he's great at them and owns them well.
Yeah.
But let's go back to young Ben,
'Kay.
right? Youngish Ben, maybe like high schoolish Ben, right?
Okay.
So you're getting ready to graduate high school, right? So right now you work in ministry. You've been in ministry for several years now, right? So what was it? How did you get led into ministry? What was that kind of calling like? How did you end up, in ministry?
Well, I definitely wanted nothing to do with working at the church, which is funny. So I went to a private Christian high school for 4 years in Knoxville, Tennessee. Shout out to Knoxville, Tennessee. And most of my family members had gone to Liberty University in Lynchburg, and I was applying to colleges, and I almost went to UT, but then didn't. And then I was like, I'll just go to Liberty, because that's what my family does. It was like familiar. It wasn't like I was super passionate about the Christian atmosphere or whatever. I just went. And long story short, basically went there for 2 years. I was a business admin, finance and economics, double major. I was like 70% of the way through it. And then my life just kind of fell apart, like at the seams.
Which is hard to
and-
imagine with such an exciting major.
I know.
That's the kind of stuff that kids dream about. Like,
macroeconomics.
I would love to study finance.
Well, I actually loved it. So I know you're being sarcastic,
I
but
know you do.
I loved it.
I know you do, and that's part of what makes you so special, because I learned this about you just the other day,
It's
and I
true, we
learned
did.
how passionate you are about this,
I love it.
and that's amazing.
So anyways, just macroeconomics didn't push me to depression, okay? That's what we're saying. Even though for some of you, I'm sure it probably would. But I got to a super dark place. It was actually very bad. Like suicidal ideation, depression, and there had been in my family a history of it with other family members. So I like knew where it was going to take me. Like I knew how bad it would get if I didn't do anything about it. And I really just remember talking to one of my friends, having this moment where they were like, hey, you should go back to your dorm and like write down the lies you believe about yourself and write down the scripture that like refutes it. And I was like, I'll do anything. I don't care. And my whole life I had grown up like Christian in quotation marks. And I went back to my dorm and I was doing the exercise and I wrote down John 3:16, which is the only verse that I had memorized, ironically. And I remember just feeling this overwhelming sense of God's presence and him speaking to me and basically just saying to me, you have never believed these words a single day in your life. Like you've never believed this. And I just like started weeping and gave my life to Jesus in my dorm room. And so when that happened, I went through this kind of couple month period where I basically was saying, well, I just gave my whole like eternity to God, like my whole life, right? Like I basically just told Jesus, you can have me for the rest of eternity. I should probably ask you like what you want me to do with the next 80 years. Like if I'm giving you all of eternity when I die, I should probably like consider what you want me to do for the next 80 years of my life. And he said, you're going to be a pastor. And I said, no.
No thanks.
And I had some 4-letter words in there that I put in there too. And so I wrestled that out with him for a while, eventually switched my major to pastoral leadership, and then got really plugged in at my church in Lynchburg, and then kind of walked that out for a couple years. So that kind of brought me to here. So it was kind of like a couple-year-long journey of wrestling out, is this what I really want to do with my life?
Yeah.
And I never really wanted anything to do with the church, because for me, church was where you went to hide your problems, not allow Jesus to like do something with them.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of some of the church environments I grew up in. And so it took a journey for me to go not only from like, oh, I want to be in the church as a person, like as an individual, but I also want to walk out this calling of helping lead the church.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do you lead something that you don't even want to be in,
Yeah.
right? So it was a couple-year-long journey, and the people at Waymaker Church in Lynchburg really came alongside me and helped build me up. And so I've been in ministry at some capacity vocationally ever since then, which kind of started in like 2020-ish. So
that's a good time to start something new. That's fun.
Right.
That was
when
a
the whole
totally
world,
normal year for everybody.
well, as a 20-year-old, that's just like was my life, I guess.
Right.
For you guys, 40-year-olds, you're like, wow, that was kind of crazy. I was like, I guess this is just how the world works.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look back, when you live long enough, you come across like world-ending events like every 10 years, and they
like,
they start to get less concerning.
Yep.
I'm learning that as I get older, because I'm looking back, like everything, like the number of flus that have existed in my lifetime, like that are gonna be the world-ending, most terrible thing. Like, didn't turn out that way.
You guys remember the swine flu in like 2008
I
or
remember the
2009?
pig flu.
Yeah, swine flu, avian flu. There was mad cow disease.
There's a bat flu in 2020. If we probably don't want to talk
remember
about it.
Barely remember that one. No.
Something about bats or something.
No.
Probably some misinformation that got spread by some. Anyways, I'm not going to go there. Anyways, that's the 30,000 foot of my life.
All I remember about that is fogging sanctuaries with disinfectant.
Yeah.
That was super fun. It's like fogging for mosquitoes.
We used to. We had the kind of the weed sprayers, but we would put sanitizer in them.
Yeah.
And then just
interesting
like
times.
pump them and spray.
Just
baby.
call it the glory cloud.
Pump and spray.
Right? But just think about this. Like, you lived through stuff that's going to be in the history books one day.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Like Eve is going to sit in class one day and is going to read about stuff that you lived through.
Eve is my daughter, by the way. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter.
Well, I assume that would. I guess that's not super clear. Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, Eve's my
and
daughter.
she's awesome.
She's really cute.
She is hilarious.
She's destructively cute. Like, she knows she's cute and gets away with stuff.
There are certain kids that I've come across, especially mine, that many of them I've decided they're going to do great or terrible things. Right?
A lot of potential.
So much potential, and there's going to be a tipping point where it's
that
like
potential gonna go?
you're going to do great things or you're going to like destroy the world.
Yep.
Like But there's certain kids are just, there's no middle ground. Like you're never just going to float into the ether and just kind of go along with everything. Like you are going to lead.
Yeah, you're leading something.
Yes. It could be good. It could be really, really bad.
Yep.
Yeah. And Eve kind of gives me some of that vibe a little bit.
Sure.
And it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome. Parenting it is very interesting, but she also gets a lot of it from me and my wife, so it's a humbling moment.
I would say she gets it honestly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She definitely gets it honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you and Sammy are great people, so
Sammy's
I think
my
she'll
wife.
be fine.
Same as my wife.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yep.
I know
Darren,
people were at
drop
home
the
thinking,
ball, bro.
like,
Who is Eve?
wait,
and
what?
Sammy? If they're still, if they didn't clock out once we started talking about Wisconsin basketball.
I don't know.
They're like,
I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to cut a good amount of stuff. So if there's a weird cut earlier in the
It's
episode,
because Darren was talking about Wisconsin basketball.
that's exactly what.
Technically, I brought
It
up
was Trevor,
Wisconsin.
actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
you totally just pulled that
My
off.
microphone.
That's cool. You can just stick it
Right.
back in there and it'll go. Yeah, everybody can listen to it.
Speaking of
It's
that,
really terrible ASMR.
There we go.
Yeah, that was great. That felt
All right.
great in my ears. Yeah. So interesting. The what you were talking about going to Liberty. I think a lot of people have that kind of vibe. Like I went to Indiana Wesleyan. Shout out to good old IWU.
Yep.
Go Wildcats. I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go. So my aunts, my uncles, my older brother, everybody in our family had gone to IWU. I didn't want to go there. I was called to ministry, knew that, but I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go to Southern Wesleyan. And that was mostly because the girl I was dating was going to Bob Jones University.
Every time.
And which is like 30 minutes down the road. And then SWU wouldn't let me in. And then, because I had terrible grades as a bad student. And then I ended up at IWU, which was the greatest thing ever, right? This girl I was dating in high school and I broke up. Courtney and I started dating, and the rest is history. That was like 20 years ago.
It's crazy.
So
I
you're
graduated
saying
high school 20 years
IWU
ago.
lowered
That's
their
old.
standards to let you in?
Dude, they let me in on academic probation, right? And then
They were like, we're not even going to let you take a class yet. You're already on probation.
Well, they let me in on probation, only let me take 13 credit hours. And then 2 of those were remedial English classes because my grades were so bad, right? I was good at English, but I was so lazy that I was just a bad student. And then I didn't pass one of those classes.
You
So I
didn't pass a remedial English class?
Exactly, because I didn't do the work. I was lazy. And they somehow let me in. I'm pretty, maybe somebody didn't file the right paperwork, but I'm pretty sure they should have kicked me out after the first semester. But they didn't. And then Courtney and I started dating, and she put spies in all my classes to figure out if I was
Did you
paying
ask Courtney
attention.
to do your homework?
No, never once. Never once did she do my homework. She started doing my laundry. Yeah, early on. For 20 years, she's been doing my laundry. It's fantastic. It was awesome. How did we get there? I was talking about you. So yeah, definitely. It's funny how it works where, and I think looking back on it, you can probably call it God kind of working behind the scenes, right? Directing you through things, closing doors and things. I think that was the way it was for me. And it was also like some of my own circumstances that I created, right? In being lazy and things. But I think God worked through that and, helped put me, where he wanted me clearly. And it worked out for the best. And I would say it worked out pretty great for you.
I think so too.
You're here with us, which, I mean, no higher place could you reach. So I hate to break it to you.
No,
this is the pinnacle.
This is my peak.
This is it.
This is peak.
Yeah. You've now peaked. It's like us and then Joe Rogan, but,
Wow.
yeah, we're pretty close up there. But you were talking about, getting into depression. And I think the coolest thing is 20 years ago, that story probably doesn't end the same way, right? The odds. So just knowing the church culture and the culture of Christian community 20 years ago, 30 years ago, the odds of that having a different outcome could be very different, right? So I think one of the coolest things that's happened over the past several years is Christian culture and church culture has shifted and is understanding that mental health is a real thing, right? Because years ago, especially like if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, like if you were depressed or if you felt bad about stuff or, if you did have suicidal ideation, we would tell you, hey, you should pray about that. Right? Like you obviously don't have enough faith in Christ, right? Where now the church in general is looking at it much more seriously as well we should. But we're treating it as like this is real. This is not just a thing that you've made up in your mind, right? So we've learned it and we understand that. So one, I think it's great that you were, and you can kind of, I think this is another part of seeing God's plan in your life and sending you to Liberty, right? Surrounding you with good Christian community, right? Which is crazy that you can be depressed in that situation, right?
Sure.
Right? 40,000 Christians on campus surrounding, I mean, sure, everybody at Liberty is a Christian, right?
No.
Turns out,
not accurate.
Turns out there are non-believers at Liberty University.
Believing a lie.
Who'd have thought, right?
Yep.
But how great that you have a friend, right? That was there, that I would say God ordained at the right time, right? In that moment. So one, I think it speaks to why it's so important to have Christian community around you, right? And even if you're not like super plugged into it, you're in that environment and God can kind of hit you with it when you need it, right?
True.
So even if I'll tell you this, I'm going to give you a groups commercial now. Like even if you're not in a group right now, right? If that doesn't tell you why you should be in one, because you might not think you need to be in one. Like life's great, I'm too busy, blah blah blah. Right? Trust me, you need to be in one, right?
Yeah, you should do that.
And you should need to be in one before you need to be in one.
Yeah, by the time you need to be in one, you're doing some damage control at that point.
Correct, right?
And it's going to take a lot longer to heal and undo the things that you've been through.
Right. That's like laying in a hospital bed about to have open heart surgery and then deciding you need to exercise. Like, well, I mean, probably could have done that before.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so all right. So we get into Liberty. You are the very exciting world of finance and econ that the world loves.
I loved it.
Right. So my dad's an accountant by trade.
Shout out to your dad.
Yes. So the best grade I got in high school was in my accounting class. So I enjoy accounting.
Did your dad do your homework?
Never once.
Okay, all right.
Never once. But I did show off how well I could do a balance sheet, and he was very impressed.
Shout out to
like,
your
good
school
job.
for even having an accounting.
Yeah, that is actually
Right?
kind of crazy. You guys had
It was a
accounting.
tiny Christian school, and they were hurting for electives, and so they grabbed our accountant and said, "You could teach this, right?" She was great, and I can't
More
actually
useful
remember
than
her
art.
name off the top of my head because it was forever ago. But I got an A, so that might say more about the class than me. But you know, I got an A. It was one of the best grades I got in high school. So, and it was fun. So fast forward, you're moving out of the econ and the finance world, right? You're feeling called into ministry. And it's funny how God just kind of threw it at you like, hey, you're going to be a pastor. And you're like, no.
Yeah, I said it a lot stronger than that, but just we're being fully transparent,
Right.
But just so you know where I was at.
God was
when
still
he told
working
me.
on sanctifying you,
Indeed,
right?
indeed.
Yeah, working through a little bit of holiness, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. And God didn't strike you down for
No.
like disagreeing.
God can handle all of our mess.
Right? That's amazing. And so God kind of grows you up a little bit through that, works you through. And then how did you end up at Waymaker? Had you been going there for a while? Or?
Yeah, I've been going there. I had a friend that I met because I was in marching band. He was like one of the first people I met. He's still like one of my best friends today. And he grew up going there. So he like lived there, grew up going there. And so I church like shopped or hopped around for a while, and then I just started going.
Yeah.
When I was a freshman, I was still going to church, but it wasn't like I was going because that's what I did.
Yeah.
Like that's what I grew up doing. It wasn't like I was going because I was really like, man, I want to encounter God and I want to grow my relationship with Jesus and I want to do all these things. I was just like, this is what you do. This is what we do. I go to church, and that's what my friends did. So I went with them. So I was already in that community before I even like got really, I would say, saved.
Yeah.
And got called to ministry. To your point about just like orchestration of God. So I was already in the community that would be equipped to train me,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think the coolest thing is and if you've never done this, I encourage you to do it. Just sit down, take 10 minutes, and just think back through all the ways that God directed you to where you're at, right? Like you never see it at the time, right? It's always hard to see, but it's fun to look back now and see like, oh, God was working that out, right? God did this so that this would be prepared, right? Or that I'd be ready for this, or as a result of this, I learned how to handle this situation. I was able to, minister to these people or whatever. Like it's kind of an amazing thing to sit back and look at it. And that's a cool thing that comes with a little bit of wisdom and age. Like you get to look back at it and see it then, right? That's why people that have walked with God for so long seem so much wiser, because they've looked back.
It's true.
Right? And they're not necessarily old people. Some people have walked with God since they were 7 and, have a deeper relationship with Christ than some people in the 70s.
Sure.
60s, 70s, something like that.
Bro.
I wasn't even going to react to it. I was just going to let it keep going.
See, no fun. I can always count on Trevor to react to my stuff. That's fine. So fast forward, you're working no, you're not working there yet. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun. So you're going to church, Waymaker. You've finally given in to that call. Got away from the exciting world of econ and finance.
Yep.
And then how do you get into your first ministry job?
That I was paid to do?
Sure.
Or
Something
that I was
that.
an intern?
Ooh, like an intern. Interns are always fun.
The first thing I did was I was an intern. I was a kid's intern for a year.
Yeah.
So I had to do it it was really funny because in my degree, I changed my degree to pastoral leadership, which I didn't want to do because I didn't like the vibe of the degree and the people that were into the degree.
I can see that.
And we'll leave it there. It didn't
That's
feel
a
like
lot of Baptists.
It didn't feel like it fit me. And I was just like, what am I doing here? But part of it was, hey, as you're pursuing educating yourself and leading the church, you should probably be involved in the church. Which, you know what? Not a bad idea.
No, that's a pretty great idea.
I want my heart surgeon to have a little bit of surgery experience and not just come out of school and have only read books, right?
Yeah.
So
That makes it less fun.
It's a little less exciting.
Trevor's like, when I get a heart surgery, I want to think about, this guy might kill me, and that's okay.
Who's the least experienced
What a
surgeon you have on your staff?
What a rush. Well, we're going to pray for you later, Trevor. Anyway, so I basically went to them, and I was like, hey, I got to do this thing. Can you help me out? They were like, yeah, we have an internship for a year. So I went through an interview process with them, and they were like, you're going to serving kids. And they put me there for sure on purpose to say, let's test it out, baby. Let's test it out.
It always starts out.
So I was a kids intern for a year.
And
For a
did you
straight
discover that you're not called to kids ministry?
Yep. Well, it's not necessarily, it wasn't like, man, I don't like kids, or man, I think kids are the worst, or anything like that. But it was just, you see, when people think about ministry, I think even from the outside, as you look at it, it seems easy and glamorous, and it's just not any of that stuff at all, especially in the kids world. And so you just see there's a grind to it.
Yeah.
There's a difficulty to it. And it's not like we're playing the world's tiniest violin of oh, ministry is so hard. Because, everybody's job is hard. That's why people get paid to do it. But it just helped me as a young person see, okay, it's easy to see, famous pastors who, look well dressed and they're fit and they speak well and God uses them in powerful ways, and that's your picture of ministry. And then you get in the ground and it's oh no, this is not glamorous at all. And people don't see how much work goes into this.
Yeah.
And people never will see how much work goes into this. And that's okay, because that's not what it's about.
Right.
But if you're going to get into it, you need to know that.
Yeah.
And, for me, I was in a support intern role. So I was just helping the kids director and also helping the volunteers that were giving up their time to just pour into these kids. And that was really, I think, just powerful to see. These, Waymaker was a similar sized church to Parkway, 1,200 people. They still are. I said they weren't anymore. They still are. And so, they had 20, 30 people just coming on Sunday morning, giving up their time to pour into these kids.
Yeah.
And it was just awesome to be able to see that and witness it. It was really funny. On my first, on one of my first Sundays as a kids intern, we were in our new building and we were doing the kids check-in for the first time. And if you ever come to a church that has a kids check-in and there's 100 or 200 people all showing up at the same time because they haven't gotten into the rhythm of how it's working yet, it was like crazy. So we had like 2 glass side doors and then a hallway where everybody was checking in. I mean, you would go into one of the glass doors depending on like which hallway your kid was going on. And so there's like 200 people in the lobby, like getting checked in. And I'm walking in one of the hallways with the glass doors with my coffee. And I'm like really stressed and I'm overwhelmed. And the glass doors didn't have like decals on them yet to make it very clear that there's a glass door here. And I had a coffee, like a full black coffee. And I just rammed into a glass door with coffee in front of 200 people and spilled it all over myself at like 20 years old.
At least you didn't break the glass.
And it was literally like my first Sunday. And I just remember thinking to myself, I was like, well, this is ministry, baby. Well, it's got to keep rolling.
That's so good. And you made somebody's day.
It was
that
a humbling
day.
moment for me.
Absolutely. Well, ministry will do that to you. Lots of life will do that.
Life
to
will
you
do that
in
to you.
general. Life is very humbling.
Especially as like a young, you know, like ambitious 20-year-old. It's just like, you know what? You're not that important. You're just not.
Yeah. I've been that guy.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That was great. I was God's gift to ministry when I was 20, man. The church was going to be lucky to have me. I remember all those days. I mean, obviously Parkway's lucky to have me, but
All right.
that's fine.
Trevor, you got a water gun? Can you shoot him? You guys should get a water gun for this show. Keep daring the line.
It's okay. I got a rubber band that I hit. Every once in a while, my ego gets a little too big. So you're at Waymaker, and then you ended up leaving at some point. At some point after graduation, right? You're working at Waymaker full time, right? I'm gonna fast forward through your life a little bit in the most non-offensive way possible. Let me just fast forward through some of the most formative things in your life that you've experienced. No big deal. And so you're working at Waymaker, right? And then God starts to talk to you about leaving Waymaker.
At which point? Which point are we talking about?
Coming to a little town of Vinton.
Oh, we're talking about Vinton.
Am I skipping things?
You're skipping things, but
Am I
that's
skipping
okay.
important things?
I mean, kind of, but it's fine. We'll just keep going.
Okay.
The other things, I was there for like 5 years, or I really like 6 or 7 in total, but 5 years of like being involved heavily.
I wasn't going to do it. I avoided it. I didn't do it.
So it was a 5-year journey. A lot happened. But yeah, so I was in a residency program at Waymaker. Waymaker has what's called a residency program, which is built to help train people for full-time ministry and develop them. It's a 2-year deal. And so I was finishing that up.
Shout out to all the churches that have residency programs, because it's hands down the best way to actually learn how to do ministry, rather than, hey, can you come be our youth pastor?
Even though you've never,
even though you know
experience with
nothing.
this. Yep.
But here's a room with no resources and no budget. Can you disciple these children for us?
Yep.
That would be great. Go for it.
Yep.
That's ministry training.
And if anybody's watching with church hurt, now you know why you might have church hurt. Anyways.
If you're curious why youth pastors only stay 18 months or less, that's why.
But yeah, so I was in that program, and it was built at Waymaker. Some churches have it where residencies are built to hire somebody. So like it's like, hey, we see this person, we see potential, we want to train them in like a more controlled environment before we give them like full responsibility. Waymakers is built the opposite. Waymakers is we want to send them out to the neighbors of the nation. Yeah. So like we want 80% of our people to be sent out, and maybe 20% of them, if God aligns it, we might hire them internally. And so by the end, I'm like, okay, I gotta get a job. Like I gotta go get a job somewhere. And I don't feel like God's asking me to step into the marketplace again, because I had been in the marketplace for a little bit. So it was like, okay, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Me and my wife are praying through it. And Cassidy Spencer, our discipleship director, me and Sammy knew in college, because Cassidy went to LU. And we had this weird connection where I was in marching band and Cassidy was in marching band. So we knew each other kind of like not super well. And Sammy and her knew each other very well in college. And then me and Sammy got married without realizing that we both knew Cassidy. So at one point, Cassidy was texting Sammy about like baby stuff, because Cassidy was about to have her daughter, which she now has, her and John have.
And she's adorable.
And she's awesome. And, you know, Cassidy was like, how are you guys doing? And Sammy was like, well, we're looking for, we're praying about this. And there was a church here in Roanoke. It's like 10 minutes from here in this little town called Vinton. Another Wesleyan church called Vinton Wesleyan Church. And she was like, hey, well, like they have a senior pastorate and you should like apply. And I was like, all right. I mean, say less. I'll do it. And, you know, it was a longer journey than that. But, you know, because I am 25, and me and my wife felt like I was being called to a position like that, which I knew was abnormal at my age, to be a lead pastor at like 25. And it was really hard because, you know, I would go through interview processes with churches and tell them what I felt called to. And I would be like, hey, like, I know that this is insane. Like, I'm not acting like I'm the best thing on the planet. And because I'm 25, I like deserve to be a lead pastor. It's like, I know this is extremely abnormal, but like, I got to follow God and just see what he does. And there were a lot of churches and places that were like, nah, you should be a youth pastor, or nah, you should do something else.
Right, because youth ministry is the B leagues, right?
For a lot
That's
of
the
churches,
minor leagues. Yeah, we got to send you to the most formative, send you to kids in the most formative years, so that you can screw up and learn to go do real ministry for people that don't want to change.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we can tell Darren has opinions. He's got opinions.
I couldn't say these things when I was a youth pastor, so now I'm old and nobody
but
cares what I have to say. So
I felt that conviction. I've never felt like youth ministry is where you send somebody who doesn't want to be in youth ministry.
Exactly.
And
it's the same reason we don't put people in kids ministry when they're not called to kids ministry. Just because we need people to hold babies in the nursery doesn't mean you're called to be there, and doesn't mean you should be there.
Yep, it doesn't help the kids, and it doesn't help you.
No, not even at all.
So, long story short, applied, went through the interview process, and then became the lead pastor, and started in July 6th of 2025 of last year.
And now you've reached midweek motivation.
And now we're here.
All the way here.
All the way here. Well, now
all the way to the mountain.
People are gonna be like, "Wait, so
God,
you were the lead pastor of that church, and now you're sitting here on staff. So what happened? You want me to just tell the story?
I mean,
or do you have a question?
Well, I mean,
keep going.
Let's go through the story.
Yep. So became the pastor, July the 6th, 2025 of Vinton Wesleyan Church. Historically, was a church that was started in around the 1920s, like. Unofficially, it hadn't been chartered yet, in Vinton, which is a little township about 10 minutes from where we are. It's kind of like, I don't want to call it a suburb of Roanoke because it's technically its own town, but think of it like that, like a little area that is very close and connected to the city, but has its own like life and breath. And Vinton technically has its own, like they have a mayor, like they have their own.
Shout out to Brad.
Shout out to Mayor Brad, who does go to our Parkway Vinton location. Shout out to Brad.
And he's been on Midweek.
Oh, Brad's been on Midweek?
Brad's been on Midweek.
Dude, I gotta go watch that one. I'll watch that one.
It was pretty great. I wasn't on it. It was great then. It used to be great. It was really great. That was a great episode.
Carly.
Anyways, and so in the 30s they chartered with like 12 people. And they just built a church, this little basement church in Vinton. And then they slowly expanded on it. So they had like a little building they built in the 40s. And then they expanded it in the 60s. And then they expanded it in the 90s. And at its peak, it had around like 400 people. So if people haven't seen what it looks like, it's like a horseshoe building. And you can fit like 400 people in there. It's like right in the middle of downtown Vinton. But over time, it had just declined in health and declined in membership. And so when I got there, there were about 30 people in this larger church. And, the goal was, let's revitalize. Let's, like, reach the next generation. Let's go into the future. And then, long story short, we ended up having a church split in August. So I got there in July. We had a little church split in August. And about, I don't know, like half of those people left. And then we ended up with about 15. And it turned into, all right, well, we have bills. Like if you took my salary out and we have our church, just like the building's paid off, but like, hey, we have like bills for this very large building and there's only 15 of us. Can we financially sustain this? And when you get into positions like that, there's normally like two options, like either wisdom would tell you, man, this thing isn't going to last. We might need to close this thing. We might need to relaunch this thing. We might need to do something different. Or God wants to do a miracle. And he can do that.
Yeah.
And so it became a prayerful process of, is that what he wants to do? And it felt like, no. So I brought that to our district superintendent because we are at Wesleyan Church, Parkway's Wesleyan Church, district superintendent, Pastor Janet. She's great. She helps oversee all of our churches in our district. and just said like, hey, here's where I'm at. I feel like God might be saying we need to close and do something new. And that's when Janet said, hey, like, let's get connected with Parkway, because Parkway has a vision for campuses specifically in churches in our district who need revitalization. Because one of the biggest problems that you run into, whether you're a Wesleyan church or not, is church plants. One of their biggest issues is, where are we going to meet? How are we going to pay for it? Right? That's the biggest thing. Talk to any church planter. Where are we going to meet? How are we going to pay for it? I mean, listen, people can't even buy houses out here right now. Think about like a church building. But we have all of these churches that are paid off. They have small congregations in them, and they normally have a faithful remnant. They want to see something new happen. Why don't we partner with those churches in planting a campus there so that the biggest roadblock is moved out of the way and we can help bring life into a church that God has used historically for sometimes hundreds of years, right? And so that's what we did. And so prayerfully worked with our district and Parkway and said, hey, I think we need to do this. And so we did it. You know, I stepped back from the pastorate and transitioned onto the staff here at Parkway. And we closed Vinton Wesleyan Church on August the 9th, November the 9th. And then we began the work of revitalizing and, you know, painting and doing wires and doing that. And then we had our soft launch for Christmas Eve. And then we had our official first Sunday on January the 4th as Parkway Vinton. And so it's been pretty cool. And I'm now the assistant campus pastor there with Pastor Mike Lauritsen. Has Mike been on Midweek Motivation?
I don't know. I don't think he's ever been.
When you guys have Mike on here, the train's never going on those tracks, baby.
Correct. Yeah.
You're going to have a good time with our Canadian brother in Christ, Mike Lauritsen.
We do love him. You know, I think the coolest thing about the way this whole saga worked out is one, not the coolest thing.
Oh, wait,
I'll say this. You lived in what, 5 months? 5 months as lead pastor. You lived like 5 years of experience.
I know, like literally
of ministry.
Every
right?
like senior pastor I would talk to, either in the area at Vinton or like some of my mentors over at Waymaker and Lynchburg, were like, "Yo, what?"
Yes, ministry is really hard. Let's not get it twisted. It's not normally that hard in that short of a span of time.
It was pretty intense.
Right?
It was intense. And you want to know something funny?
Always.
This is like a God thing. So when I was doing the interview process with Vinton Wesleyan, Mike Lauritsen had found out that I was like trying to exit my residency, was looking for a job. And Cassidy told him about me, and he called me and was like trying to get me to come work here. And I was in the interview process with Vinton. So I was like, hey, like, I feel like God wants me to walk this out. So I'm going to walk this interview process out with Vinton, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
And now I work here for Mike. Isn't that funny?
Mike's I win again.
Mike's like, yes.
He was going to get you one way or another. If Mike had to close a church to get you, Mike was going to get you.
He said he wants it that way. Fine.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to come. He wants to wait 5 months to come work for me. Fine.
Well, I'm a patient man. I've been in this for 30 years. I can wait. Anyways.
Oh, that's amazing. I did not know that.
Yeah, that was like
awesome.
a little anecdote I hadn't told people.
That's
Some people
fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought we shared everything with each other, but that's cool. That's fine.
All right. One day at a time.
Yeah, that's all right. No, that's super cool. I mean, if that's not a testament, again, we talked about like looking back on things, right? If that's not a testament to God working things out, right? Now, not to say that we still wouldn't be in the same place, you know, had you just come here and, you know, Vinton might still be Parkway Vinton, right? You never know. But I guarantee it wouldn't have gone down the way that it did, right?
Nope.
Wouldn't have been as cool.
It's been a beautiful transition. I think the coolest thing is, so Parkway Wesleyan was planted by First Wesleyan years and years ago, right? So we're a church plant from another church here in Roanoke. And really all the churches in Roanoke really, I think, planted off of First Wesleyan in some way at some point. And so it's so cool to see now, one, this is a great benefit to being part of a district, is to have that camaraderie and have that network of churches to support each other. But also like, it's kind of like giving back a little bit, right? So it's tough to do ministry just financially in the world, right? So now that we're able to partner together and do ministry together, right? not to say that like Vinton wasn't doing good ministry over the years. Like there's a huge legacy of Vinton Wesleyan making a difference. Like we've talked to a couple people during this whole process, like, oh yeah, my grandfather laid the bricks on that church, or you know, all these things, like great memories of great ministry that's happened there. Yeah. And if that ministry doesn't happen, then we don't get to do the ministry that we're doing there right now. Yep. Right. So this is just a new generation of ministry. Yep. Right. God's still doing the same thing. Right. God's still changing people's lives, and we're just doing it a little different way. Right. And in 30 more years, we're going to be doing something else different. Yep. Right. It'll probably still be called Parkway Vinton, Lord willing. Right. Unless we come up with some other cool name like
it's probably staying Parkway Vinton.
Parkway Valley, but it'll probably be Parkway Vinton, right? But our methods might change. The music's going to change, and I think I'm going to be an old man by then. That I'll probably be grumpy about some of the music. What?
You'll have even more dad jokes.
Bro, I will be on like a whole nother level of dad jokes in 30 years. But I mean, ministry is still going to be the same. Dustin and I were talking months back. We're having atomic wings, which is just delicious. It takes way too long to get them made, but they're delicious. We were talking about, you know, why some churches grow and some churches don't. He said, well, the reality is God wrote the playbook like thousands of years ago. Churches that grow just run the same playbook, right? We lead people to Jesus. That's it. Yep. It's really that simple. Like there's some strategy, and then we got to bring some finance people along to help do things, right? So thank God there are people that love finance, right?
Like your dad.
Like my dad, right? The church needs people like my dad. The world needs people like my dad.
What's your dad's name?
Glenn.
Shout out to Glenn.
With Glenn. 2 N's. Okay. Not just one.
Well, it's a distinguishing N.
It is a distinguishing N. It's a silent N, but it is distinguishing. But this whole story to me just really shows that God's church is going to prevail, right? One way or another, right? And whether you came to Parkway immediately and, you know, worked for Mike right away, or if you had to wait 5 months, you know, and be a lead pastor for a little while, and then come work for Mike, right? God's going to get you to the purpose that he wants you to, right? God gets you to the destination he has for you one way or another, right? And it's just such a great, wonderful thing to see how God tends to work that out. And it's been fun to watch the churches kind of merge. There's the stats on it are way better than usual, right? On church mergers, the stats are not great on how they go. But this has been great. It was really great. I got to be there for the first time on a Sunday, this past Sunday. Yep. So cool.
It's awesome.
It's so cool to be there and just be a part of a church launching campuses. And I just love too that God put this vision in Dustin's heart, right? And at the same time, God is sending you there, right? And placing you there for, I think, maybe even the ultimate purpose of making this happen and happen smoothly. Yeah. That's just cool. Yeah. That just doesn't get old. Awesome. I don't have a more profound way to say that, but
I mean, that was pretty profound.
Cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It's really interesting thinking back on the last 6 months of my life. It is wild. Like I think about it and I'm like, what the heck happened? Like that felt like a fever dream. Right. But it was real. But that's just how God works. And you know what you're talking about with ministry, like, you know, our message is never going to change. Doesn't matter where we are. It doesn't matter who we are. Our form, like how we structure things and our style are going to adapt. And there are churches, successful churches across our country and our world where the form and the style are just wildly different. Yeah. Right. But the message is the same. Yeah. It's not changing. And so I think it's cool to be able to maybe adapt some style and some form stuff that Vinton Wesleyan had historically to help it move into the future. But the message has not changed, which is the gospel. And being able to be that kind of beacon in the community is pretty awesome. So
yeah, especially right there. That's a perfect place to have a church. I mean, years ago when they were planting, they planted the right spot. Yep. And it's a privilege to have the resources and just be a part of what God's doing. It's super cool. I never thought I'd get to do what I'm doing now, and God keeps amazing me with the stuff that He's doing. You know, I've been in church my whole life, and you wouldn't think that after 37 years of being in church that you'd get surprised at what God does in church.
You still do.
Still do.
Yep.
And it's going to continue to happen over the next 30 years till whenever God takes me home, right? And even long after that. So, man, Ben, you talk way too much.
Sorry. Whoa.
I'm just going to say,
I think I've talked the least amount.
I blame the
Actually,
host.
the second least amount.
yeah, clearly you're the one that talked too much, and interrupted. This was not, we weren't here to talk about you. I don't know why you thought you should talk so much, but,
Boy.
you know what's funny is you're giving me this look like, is he actually serious?
Who,
right
me?
now? Yeah.
No, I know you are. Guys, I got a text on my phone from Darren. Do you want to come talk a lot on this podcast? That's exactly what it says.
Those are the exact words. Yeah.
The exact
While
That sounds
Trevor
about
sits on
right.
the most uncomfortable couch ever.
Bro,
It's
my
not too bad.
tailbone is
It's
feeling it
definitely
right
waiting
now.
room furniture in a doctor's office.
Yeah.
I can't feel below my waist right now,
Well,
but that's okay.
I will tell you, I'm insanely comfortable in my $100 Amazon
yeah,
chair.
I miss my recliner. For
Yeah,
sure.
I know. We'll figure out how to make it all happen. But
We
we
just
got
need to
some
get
work
3 recliners.
do. Yeah,
I can make it work.
that's a great idea. Go ahead and order one. Why not? Just throw the couch.
I don't have a budget. It's your budget, buddy.
Dude, I'll put this couch in my office if you don't want it for real.
I bet you would.
But no.
But no. Respectfully, no.
But
Respectfully,
no, that's clearly the midweek couch. So, Ben, you fit right in. You're great on the team. You
Yeah.
killed it.
Thanks.
I can't tell you how many compliments I've gotten from people that have met you, and especially after 21 days, I got a lot of people. A lot of people walking past them, but like, is that Ben's? Man, he's good. He's so great.
Somebody actually told me, I don't even remember who it is, so don't ask, but somebody
Okay.
came up to me after you did the devotion. They were like, has he considered being a pastor?
No, I haven't, actually.
No, but I'll tell him.
I was like, if
Yeah.
only
We'll get
you
him
knew.
started down that
If
road.
only you knew.
I know,
Yeah.
no, for real. That's so funny.
Yeah. Well,
It was an honor. I loved it.
you make a great pastor.
Yep.
You crack me up. Your trench coat and sweatpants combos are endless, and they
Yep.
make me happy. You make me feel old. You make me feel old, but also you make me feel like I'm like we're the same age all the time.
Yep.
Because you have this very old man spirit inside of you,
Okay.
but also you're really cool, and you're a good dude, and I like you.
This is nice.
You're making him
It's good
tear
for my
up.
heart. It's good for my heart.
His eyes are watering.
And I'm
good for
realizing
that.
the first time I've ever seen you in a backward hat,
Yeah, it's kind of
and it's a choice.
My daughter.
It's a choice.
Wow. Okay, that felt passive. My daughter woke up at 3 this morning, and my hair's a little long. I need a haircut, and I said I gotta wear a hat today.
Yeah.
This is the
Hey,
hat that
you
I-
make it look good.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
You make
Well,
it look
I
good.
told him earlier, I said, I'm not used to seeing you in a hat, number one. I said, but number two, don't wear it too often because then you'll end up like me without hair.
Is that genetics or is that? I feel like that's old
No, mine
wives'
is
tale.
100% genetics. I looked like this
I mean-
in about 10th grade.
Do hats actually cause your hairline to
I
recede?
have worn a
at-
hat
myth.
every day of my life from the
It's a
time
myth.
I was like 8 years old. So,
Okay. And you're bald, right?
well, it's been a while since I've shaved my head, but yes.
So there you go. Who knows?
So I haven't actually shaved my head for like 18 days.
Okay.
It's very uncomfortable. I don't like it. So, but yeah, Ben, you're fantastic. Your family's fantastic.
Mhm.
Excited to have you on staff. This can't be the last time you're on midweek unless you're just like,
I love my time here.
you fit in a little too well. It's not great.
At the
gonna
number one
replace us.
podcast followed closely by the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yes, Joe's
And the
going to
Sean
catch
Ryan
us one
show.
day. Yeah, Joe and Sean,
In
they
that
keep
order.
nipping at our heels, so we have to keep bringing on high-profile guests like you.
But also,
Ben, thanks so much. Trevor, thanks for sitting on the uncomfortable couch this week.
You know what? The
Kingdom work.
area of ministry and the Christian life is all about sacrifice.
Yeah.
Pick up your
I'm
cross
here
and
for
follow
it.
me.
I have
You
taken up my
sacrifice
cross.
well. Yes, you are
My tailbone has
enduring
suffered.
trials in this moment.
Yep.
But thanks for joining us for another episode of Midweek Motivation. Thank you, Ben, for joining us for the very first time. I know he watches every second of the show.
Every minute.
But have a great week and stay motivated.
Stay motivated, man.
Stay motivated.
Let's go.